2025 might be the best year in video game history. Let's talk about why. Now, a lot of people might think I'm referring to all of the games coming out, the possibility of the Nintendo Switch 2 launching even as soon as March, or even GTA 6 itself. But no, it's maybe a little bit of that. But I'm talking about for me and for anyone else who's been trying to play their old games. I'm talking about setting up a way to optimize how you're playing your games and enjoying them. And I don't mean forcing it, I just mean enjoying it. A few years back, I watched Darrow Talks Games YouTube video about how to attack your backlog, and it was overwhelming. Believe me, I tried it. I took his method, I adjusted it a little bit, and it was just too much. As he even found out when he made his finale video that year. He realized it was just too much to force yourself to play these thousands of hours. I think he had like 1,600 hours planned out for the entire year, which is just crazy of planned video game hours when video games should be fun and spontaneous half the time. I'm coming at it a little bit differently this year. I do still find that I have game paralysis if I sit down after I finish a game and I want to start a new game. I have this huge library. I have this huge library, this huge backlog with tons of games I'd like to get to. I'll sit down, I'll look at it, and I'll have like 10 that I'm like, oh, I could start any one of these. But which one's the right one to start? And then you just freeze up, you don't start any of them, you jump on a multiplayer game, and you go on with your day. Well, I'm looking at the side here because let's screen share. I made this, and it's my year of gaming challenge, and I'm not trying to create some crazy backlog with thousands of hours to knock out in 1 year. I'm just trying to finish roughly one game a month, and I'm not going to be strict about it. I'm just setting myself out on a list of games that right now I think sound awesome to finish up, or games that I'm already playing. And let's start out with the example of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I started that at the beginning of 2024. Actually, we had COVID. We had just gotten back from Christmas, and my wife had COVID, and I wasn't quite feeling it yet. So I was taking care of her, and I was just relaxing, starting to get sick, and I'm like, I'm going to play video games. I knocked out the first 15 hours of that game when we had COVID. Since then, over the last year, I've played about 7 hours. Every time I sit down to play it, I absolutely love it. But it's one of those games that I've been playing on my PS5. I actually have put all those last 7 hours in on the Portal. And I don't always want to just sit down and play it. I don't know what it is. Every time once I hit play on it, I'm loving my life. But getting myself to go do it, for some reason, it's one of those paralysis things where, like, is the PS5 updated? Is the game updated? I don't know why. I slow myself down on it. But if I put it down like this as something I want to get done, I'm much more likely to do it. I just work well with lists. It helps me. So, right off the bat, I'm putting that one on there as one to finish. It doesn't mean I have to finish it in January. It's just on the list now. One we will probably finish in January is Astrobot. We just started that yesterday. And wife and I, we're already like 2.5, 3 hours into it, and it's only an 11-hour game. So I think we're going to knock that out pretty quick. If we finish the first major boss, and those are the types of games that we love playing together, so I'm super excited to finish that one up. We more than, I think it's like a 106% you can do on the Spyro trilogy. We did that together. We've beaten like all the Mario games together, so platformers, just a great time. For the most part, you'll see a common thing with this list, and it's JRPGs. I have a lot of them on it, and that's a big deal when it comes to time. But they have been my favorite genre the last 2 years, so I tried to be reasonable with it. I put them on, but we'll get through the list. So the other two games I have So my entire January, I'm just going with games I've already started. And I'm leaving 2 gaps here for just other, and I can add more, because I guarantee I'm going to play online multiplayer stuff. I'm actually going to have LAN. It's a huge event I go to with a bunch of my friends where we just play a crap ton of games. I'm going to make that its own separate category just to track what we play and have fun down at the bottom. Because at the end of the year, I'm going to turn this into like a graph, pie chart, bar graph, everything. I'm just curious. I want to see what I play throughout the year, and when I play it the most, what I play the most, and my trends, because everyone has gaming trends. You'll see later in the list I put something in just for that. But yeah, Dragon Quest 11S and Dragon Quest Builders 2, both of which I started this month. One, I was looking for kind of a cozy adventure building survival simulator thing, but something that was like really cozy to me. The Akira Toriyama artwork really, really makes me feel comfortable. And then, self-explanatory again, Dragon Quest 11S, huge RPG, beautiful Akira Toriyama artwork. It's not super, like, it's old school, but it's not like super hardcore. It's hardcore in the way that there is runbacks in certain battles. Like, it's kind of funny. You lose a battle and you're put back to the beginning of the dungeon, which can be frustrating. It doesn't happen constantly, and the battles aren't crazy hard, so you just have to make sure you're prepared. You can't just not think when you go into a boss battle or something. But besides that, it's just a fun game. I'm gonna try and split things up as I go. Even if I'm sticking with the same genre, I want to make sure I have differences in length and differences in style. Visions of Mana is action, so I figured that would be good with all these like kind of turn-based, besides Astrobot being a platformer. Well, Dragon Quest Builders is action, but these will be 2 I think are just comfort games throughout the year. Visions of Mana, I think, is one I could sit down and knock out in just a handful of sittings, a handful of weeks, and it's one I've just wanted to give a chance. I haven't played any of the Mana games. It looks beautiful. It looks like it would play great, and that looks like the ideal game that I would love on my PS5. I love like the action JRPGs on there. There's just something comfortable about it. I think it's the games I grew up, like I was huge into Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on the PS2, so I think that really hits home with me. Next, I'm going with Yakuza Like a Dragon. And actually, I could add in here, I'm not going to bother. I think I'm just going to start it right from the beginning again. But I played like the first 3 hours of this game a couple years ago at Christmas, right after finishing Final Fantasy 16. I'm like, let's jump into another game. I was excited. And I loved every bit of the first 3 hours. Like the whole setup, the intro story, even though I didn't really know what was happening. I haven't played a Yakuza game before. And I'm excited to go back and play the old ones. I really thought this looked like a good place to jump in with a new protagonist, the turn-based and everything. And it was comical, what I've played so far, and I'm excited to jump into it and then maybe down the road play Infinite Wealth, if it's what I think it's going to be. So as you'll see in the next couple months here, I have new game, and I just kind of put some placeholders in because they both look really fun. Well, one, maybe the Nintendo Switch 2 launches. Of course that looks fun. I put that in for April because there's a lot of rumors that it could launch in March. I don't know if I believe that, but I like to be hopeful. Manifest it a little bit. Put it in there. And the next one is Rune Factory, Guardians of Ozma. I think they said spring 2025. Again, I've only played a little bit of Rune Factory 5. It was fun. This just looks like a transformation in the series that I would really love. It keeps the same, like the farming. I love the farming, life sim, crafting, survival games when there's a good story and twist attached to them. So that looks just like that. I was talking about trends and how we go through trends as we play through the year. Every year, inevitably, and usually it's early summer, I get hooked on the Pokemon games. I go back, I play one of the old Pokemon games, or a new one if it comes out, or a combination of the two, and inevitably, some point this year, I'll be playing a Pokemon game. Whether it's just playing like Radical Red, Nuzlocking it, or one of the old games of Nuzlocking it, going back to Black and White. I've been wanting to get back to those. I think Black was my favorite Pokemon game I ever played, so I would love to replay those. I've never played Black 2 or White 2, but I did pick one of them up. So I think there's a good chance it'll be one of those. And then I'm keeping, again, lists help me. I've already listed out a bunch of games up here. My goal is to just finish one game per month. It doesn't mean start one game per month, but all of these can be placeholders for little things I might play. Heck, this could even be something like playing Balatro again, or Slay the Spire, or Slay the Spire 2 if it comes out in full, not just early access. But it's summer. We're gonna be traveling. We're gonna be doing stuff. We're gonna be busier and outside more. So for both of these months, I just put something small and portable, something we can take around with us. It just makes more sense for the time of year. And who knows? Maybe I will decide to play something bigger, something crazier when the time comes, or maybe there'll be a new game. But for now, I'm going to keep it at that. I don't want this to feel like too much pressure. Then we get into September, though. It starts to cool off a little bit. You kind of you get that fall coziness going on. And you want to just sit down with a great game. And I'm thinking God of War 2018. This is another one that it comes down to that game paralysis, where I've played the first, I think, 10 hours of it, and then just left it because I started playing a different game. Not because I didn't like it. I enjoyed the first 10 hours. I think, because it wasn't too long ago that I started playing it, I might have left it for Tears of the Kingdom when that came out, and then just never went... Oh, excuse me. I think I left it for Tears of the Kingdom when that came out, and I just never went back to God of War 2018. So that's something, I think I'd restart it. It's been long enough that I'd probably just restart it and just power through. I put PS5 here. I might even play it on the Steam Deck. Then we got another new game. We got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I haven't played it yet. I got to finish Remake. I'll probably, honestly, one of these small portable games will probably be Crisis Core, because I think that's only like 13 hours, and I can play it on the Switch. So I bet I'll put Crisis Core, because I'd like to play that before I get to 7 Rebirth. And then I'm just leaving December open for another new game. We have more than 12 games listed here already. That's enough to do one each month of the year to finish up. But I like to leave it open for new stuff, for changes. Heck, I might start a game and just not like it. And if that happens, who cares? I don't want to force myself to finish something that I'm supposed to be enjoying if I'm not enjoying it. This isn't, in a way, I'm making it work, but fun work. It shouldn't feel like bad work. It should feel like something you're excited to open up, look at, take notes, and do. I love taking notes on the games I play. It helps me remember where I'm at. So if I play them over a longer period of time, that's easier. It also, if I make a memory and I want to talk about it, it's a great way to kind of keep those games in your memory and be able to go back and, have that good memory over again. The last part of all of this is, like I said, I want to track everything. And part of that is I want to track the genres throughout the year. Like I said, I'm going to keep track for each month. At the end of the month, I'm going to look at how many hours I played in like certain multiplayer games as well. I want to be able to track the genre and the type of game. I want to track the platform I play on. And I want to track the hours overall. It could be some interesting statistics. It could be obvious and boring at the end of the year. Who knows? But I'm just curious, because each platform does their own end of year roundup. But what if I just did one in one place? I made my own. So that's what we're going to do for the end of the year here. I'm going to drop this in my Discord. If anyone wants to take this file, I'm going to be editing it, so I probably won't drop it for another week. But I will put it in my Discord. I'm going to create a channel for it. You'll be able to join my Discord down in the description, or even come hang out in streams. I'm going to talk about this over on Twitch as well. But yeah, I'm just excited to play games this year. I might play some of these on stream. There actually, there's a really good chance, especially something like Dragon Quest Builders. It's fun I'm playing it on Steam Deck, but it's also a lot of fun on PC, especially building with mouse and keyboard. It feels a lot like Minecraft. Visions of Mana, I don't actually own it yet, so that's one I could end up getting on PC instead. I think Yakuza Like a Dragon I got free on Epic or something one time, so there are a handful of these I could just, play on PC and stream, or even I could just hook up a console and stream it. So we'll see over there. But yeah, I just wanted to put this out there and give people another way to maybe attack some of their old games, their backlog, and have a little fun with it without making it feel too structured and too rigid. Give a little leeway for new games that are coming out. Give a little leeway for games you might not enjoy, or games that you want to play over a number of months, not just try and fit in a game or two a month. With that said, guys, I wanted to get this out by the new year, so Happy New Year, and everyone, have a great 2025. See you around.